Elevation through meditation. How to uplift ourselves through meditation. This is discussed in chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. Uddhared atmana atmanam. You shall elevate yourself. Na atmanam avasadayet. You shall not allow yourself to degenerate. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You are your own friend and you are your own enemy. Bandhur atmatmanastasya atmaiva atmana jita. For a person who has conquered himself, he himself is his own friend. Anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. A person who is not able to control himself or conquer himself will find himself acting as his own enemy. This can be interpreted in multiple ways, because with our own actions we make our own life miserable, or we can make our own life pleasant. We can make friends or enemies depending on our own behavior. If we behave in a very disciplined and self-controlled manner, there will be no enmity and there will be no conflict. If in case we don't do that, we have no control over ourselves, we misbehave, then automatically we will have enemies and conflicts and even wars. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yen atmaiva atmana jitaha. Anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha sitoshna sukhadukheshu tatha manapamanayoh. A person who has conquered himself, jitatmanaha, prashantasya, he alone can be at deep peace, prashanti. Paramatma samahitaha, he will be able to equate himself, connect himself to Paramatma, and he will be equanimous. Sitoshna sukhadukheshu tatha manapamanayoh. For both insult and praise, and cold and heat, and pleasure and pain. Jitatmanah prashantasya paramatma samahitaha sitoshna sukhadukheshu tatha manapamanayoh. Jnana vijnana truptatma kutastho vijitendriyaha yukta ityuchyate yogi samalosthashma kanchanaha. A yogi is successful in yoga if he is fully saturated and satisfied with jnana and vijnana. What is vijnana? Vijnana is jnana put in action. Jnana is the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, the supreme knowledge. Jnana vijnana truptatma kutastho vijitendriyaha. Having conquered his senses, he will be neutral, kutastha, unbiased. Vijitendriyaha, having conquered all senses. Jnana vijnana truptatma kutastho vijitendriyaha yukta ityuchyate yogi samalosthashma kanchana. His level of equanimity is so high that he will look at both gold and mud as same. Samalosthashma kanchana. Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu. His equanimity is so high that he will treat his friends and enemies, acquaintances, all with equal amount of love and affection. Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir visishyate. Yogi yunjit satatamatmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yatachittatma nirashir aparigrahaha. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasanam natyuchritam natinicham chailajana kushottaram tatraikagram manakrutva yatachittendriya kriyaha upavishyasane yunjad yogam atma vishuddhaye. The yoga practice or meditation practice will be done in a lonely place, in a pure place, neither too high nor too low. Suchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasanam atmanaha na atyuchritam natinicham chailajina kushottaram tatraikagram manakrutva. There, having concentrated the mind, yata chittendriya kriha, with full control over his mind and senses, upavishyasane yunjad yogam atma vishuddhaye, he shall practice yoga for self purification. Samam kaya siro grivam dharayan achalam sthiraha. One straight line connecting the head, neck and the body. Kayam siram grivam. Samam kaya siro grivam dharayan achalam sthiraha. Fixed, unmoving. Samprekshya nasikagram swam disascha navalokayan. Look into yourself by fixing your gaze on the middle of the eyebrows. Sampreksha nasikagram Swam disascha navalokayan. Look into yourself. We have been looking always outside ourselves. Looking into yourself is meditation. That is yoga. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayanna chalam sthiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam disascha navalokayan. Prashantatma vigatabhir brahmachari vrite sthitaha manas samyamya matchito yukta asita matparaha. With celibacy, with peace, state of mind, prashantatma vigatabhi, without any fears of any kind, brahmachari vrite sthitaha, manas samyamya, having controlled the mind, matchittaha, being fixed in me, he shall be absorbed in me, matchittaha. Manas samyamya matchito yukta asita, being practicing yoga is called being yukta. Matparaha, dedicated to me, that is the Lord, the Paramatma. Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasaha. By practicing yoga, yunjan is by practicing this meditation. Evam, in this way, sada atmanam, joining with the self. Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasaha, having controlled the mind. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham asnute. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam mat samstham adhigacchati. He will reach peace. The only way to reach peace of nirvana is to reach me through this yoga abhyasa of dhyana and meditation on the self, into the self, to the Paramatma, from the Atma to Paramatma. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam, the highest nirvana, matsamstham adhigacchati. Na atyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantam anashnataha nachati swapnashirasya jagratau naivacha Arjuna. Who shall reach success in yoga? Everyone practices yoga, everyone practices meditation, but who will reach the final success? Yuktahara viharascha yuktacheshtascha karmasu yuktaswapnavabodhascha yogo bhavati dukhaha. A person will reach success in yoga if he is balanced in his diet, in his food habits, in his activities. Ahara vihara, yuktahara viharascha, yuktacheshtascha karmasu, yuktaswapnavabodhascha. In his sleep. So sleep, food, activity, exercise, all are connected to each other in maintaining balanced state of mind and balanced state of life. Yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam mat samstham adhigacchati. Na atyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantam anashnataha nachati swapnashilasya jagratau naivacha Arjuna. Yuktahara viharascha yuktacheshtascha karmasu yuktaswapnavabodhascha yogo bhavati dukhaha. What is this yoga? Dukhaha. It is yoga which can destroy misery, sorrow, problems, issues. Yogo bhavati dukha. Yuktahara viharascha yuktacheshtascha karmasu yuktaswapnavabodhascha yogo bhavati dukhaha. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigatakalmashaha. By practicing this way, he will be freed from all sins. Sukhena brahma samsparsham. He will reach the samsparsha, the contact, the touch of the Supreme Absolute Brahman. Very soon. Sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham. The highest sukha. Yallabhad na parolabha yat sukhad na param sukham. Highest pleasure, highest happiness and highest gain. That is brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham asnute. Sarvabhutasthamatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshinaha. That level of oneness, the experience of oneness, of identifying yourself, oneness with the Paramatma, which is the self of all. To have the experience, intuitive realization of oneness with all will lead to love, and universal love will lead to happiness, not only for himself but for others. And in the same 6th chapter, yoga has been defined as something dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanyitam, that which is going to remove the contact of misery, sorrow and problems and issues with you. That's something which can remove that contact. Dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanyitam. It is known as yoga. Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo anirvinna chetasa. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman chaktva sarvan aseshataha. First step is to give up all desires and all distractions and all contemplations and thoughts. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman chaktva sarvan aseshataha. Manasaiva indriya gramam viniyamya samantataha. Shanai shanai uparamet buddhya dhrutigrihitaya. Atma samstham manakritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Slowly, slowly, slowly bring your mind back to yourself from the distractions it gets into through the senses or through thoughts or through intellect. With the help of the intellect, buddhi, you bring back the discrimination power, bring back the mind to yourself. Shanai shanai uparamet, maybe calm down and enjoy in itself. Shanai shanai uparamet buddhya dhrutigrihitaya atma samstham manakritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Will not think of anything. That is where Patanjali's first three sutras come into picture. Yogas chitta vritti nirodhaha tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam vritti sarupyam itaratra. So yoga is defined as a state of being in yourself without any thoughts, without any distractions or without any mental activity or mental modifications. If that can be reached, then you are in yourself. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam vritti sarupyam itaratra. Otherwise, you are getting carried away. You are identifying yourself with the thoughts outside, with the objects outside, with the sensory pleasures and with memories, with imaginations, with all kinds of illusions and hallucinations. So when the mind is totally arrested and be in yourself, no mind, only self, you are in yourself, that is the state of yoga. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam vritti sarupyam itaratra. Now this can be connected to Sankhya theory also. The basic Sankhya theory of Kapila, the first of the 6 darshanas, all the 6 being Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaiseshika, Mimamsa and Vedanta. The first Sankhya, it looks at man and nature. Even from an atheistic or a scientific point of view, you can look at nature, the universe in front of you, and yourself, which is man. That is I and the universe. So who is this I and who is this universe and what is the relationship? So Purusha, man, and Prakriti, nature. So normally the man is getting lost into nature and he is identifying himself with parts of nature, forces of nature. It could be body, it could be mind, it could be thought process, it could be designations, it could be any kind of emotions, lust, greed or jealousy, etc. So all these are processes and phenomena and functions of nature. So forgetting yourself, you are identifying with nature, and that is the root cause of all problems, the bondage, the misery. In Sankhya Darshana, Trividha Dukkha Nivritti Rachanta Purusharthaha. The highest human achievement is to transcend 3 types of sorrow, problems, misery, dukkha. What are they? Adhidavika, Adhibhautika and Adhyatmika. All problems in this world can be categorized into 3. Adhidavika, Adhibhautika and Adhyatmika. Adhibhautika are physical, Adhidavika are natural, Adhyatmika are internal or psychological. So these 3 types of problems, if they can be overcome, that will be the greatest human endeavor and achievement. Trividha Dukkha Nivrittihi Atyanta Purusharthaha. This is the first sutra of Sankhya Darshana of Kapila. And the last sutra is Asangoyam Purushaha. So the problem is that you are experiencing all the miseries, whether they are physical or whether they are sensory or natural or whether they are internal, psychological, relating to feelings. So all these types of problems are coming due to only one reason, that is your involvement with Prakriti, nature, to such an extent that you lost yourself and you are identifying with various parts and functions and activities of Prakriti instead of being in yourself. If you are in yourself, you are free. Asangoyam Purushaha. If you are in yourself, then you are Asanga, you are detached from Prakriti and therefore you have no suffering, you have no problem. So being in yourself is the state of meditation which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. So Yunjannevam Sadatmanam Yogi Niyatamasaha Shantim Nirvana Paramam Matsamstham Adhigachati. And also Yunjannevam Sadatmanam Yogi Vigatakalmashaha Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham Atyantam Sukhamasnute. Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam Sarvabhutani Jatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshinaha Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mai Pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramamata. A yogi who sees himself equal to others, and whether good or bad, pleasure or pain, will be equating equanimously with others. He is the true yogi. He sees oneness with others. He not only sympathizes but empathizes with everyone else for their issues and their problems, and also oneness with God. Atmopamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramodha. So, to be able to see oneness between myself, my environment, the creatures or individuals in front of me, and also with divine power, the Paramatma, what is Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So, sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshinaha yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvanchamai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. So he made these two statements, sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani. A person who sees himself in all and all in himself, and a person who sees me in all and me in himself and himself in me. That means me, that is the Lord Paramatma, Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu, is in all, because he has made it clear many times. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhuta vyavasthitaha aham adincha madhyancha bhutanam anta evacha. I am the beginning and the end. I am the alpha and omega. I am the self of all. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhuta vyavasthitaha. Similarly, he has also made clear many times, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshe pardhatishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Ishvara lives in the heart of all beings and drives them all like a robot. And similarly, he made sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto mattasmriti jnanam apohanam cha. I am in the heart of all. In the 15th chapter too, in many chapters, he repeated the fact that the soul or the self of each and every being in this universe is no other than the Lord himself, the Paramatma himself. Therefore, a yogi, he who sees himself in Paramatma and therefore in all beings, sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani jatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshinaha, equanimity, yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramota. So this is the 6th chapter, Atma Samyama Yoga, which starts with a detached action. Anasritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sasanyasi cha yogi cha niragnirna chakreha yam sanyasamitu prahur yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yogarudhasya tasyeva shamak karanam uchyate. So these are the first slokas of the 6th chapter, where detached action has been prescribed, which was also prescribed in the 3rd, 4th chapters as Karma Yoga. You shall perform all actions without obsession to the result, without the ownership of the result, but with full dedication and with full skill, Yoga Karma Sukhaushalam, on your actions. But the next point given was meditation and elevation through meditation. Uddharayed atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet. We all know how we will fall every day in our house and outside our house, in the world, how there is a big fall from the high status to low status, or from low status to lower status, from lower status to lowest status. So you shall not allow this fall. Uddhared atmanatmanam, you shall elevate yourself, not allow to fall. Na atmanam avasadayet, atmaiva hyatmano bandhuratmaiva ripuratmana. Why is it that I am my own self, my own friend and my own enemy? Because if I have conquered myself, then I will find everybody is my friend, because I see myself in everyone. And if I have not conquered myself, if I am a fool, then I will see everybody is my enemy, because I have created enemies with my own behavior, or I don't see the oneness of the self in all. Not only human beings, but even objects and animals and trees. The Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate sruyate piva antarbahishcha tat sarvam yapya narayana sthitaha. The mantra Pushpamar Narayana Suktam makes clear that in and out, without gaps, without any deviations, everywhere the Narayana is filled up. Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate sruyate piva. What can be seen, what cannot be seen, what can be heard, what cannot be heard. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam yapya narayana sthitaha. So that Narayana is in the heart. Adho nishthavitastyante nabhyam uparitishthati jwalamala kulam bhate vishwasyayatanam mahat. So the substratum of the universe is illuminant like flame in the heart of all living beings. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyo vedanta krud veda videva chaham. So the nature of Paramatma is the sigma, or the sum and substance, the totality, all existence, the totality of all selves, the totality of all consciousness, all put into one, objectified. It is not an object, it is a subject, because the sense of I, the self, is a subject, it's not an object. But the sigma of all selves, which is Paramatma, all individual Atmas being Jivatmas, that's why he said, Mamaiva Amsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutasya. Mamaiva Amsha. Paramatma's Amsha is Jivatma. And this all Jivatmas put together is Paramatma. And that Paramatma is single, Sa Ekaha. And to realize that oneness is self-realization, is God realization, which results in universal love.